welcome to Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie Giordano along with Todd Flesner. Good afternoon, Todd. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Great. Folks, thank you for tuning in to Channel 26, where you can view us on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. And I think a lot of other times too. So anyway, the rain is here. It's exciting, huh?
At long last, we've really needed a little bit of rain. So today, as we're taping, we are getting a good soaking, which is great.
Great, and that kind of goes into a segue of grass and landscaping and water and all that other good stuff.
Exactly.
How about introducing our guest?
Well, I'd be happy to. Alex Flores has joined us today, and Alex is with One Lawn. And we've talked in the past on the show a little bit about alternatives for landscaping, and so Alex is here to share with us a little bit about not only himself but his company and some alternatives that folks might look at when they look at their landscape.
Very good.
Glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Welcome, Alex. I know you drove quite a ways too, so we appreciate it.
From South City. Wasn't bad.
Well, let's start off. I'll begin the questioning.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where you grew up, where you were educated, and.
Okay. I'm basically a Bay Area native. I was born and raised in Santa Clara, and currently live in the Los Gatos area. I went to San Jose State, degree in packaging engineering, which I left about 10 years ago. I got out of the rat race, as they say, and I got into the grass race, I guess. But, Bay Area boy, been around for a long time, love the area. Had the fortune of living in a lot of different areas, dealing with a lot of different cultures and whatnot. But I think I found a calling with synthetic lawn. Synthetic lawn is it's a fantastic product. It's eco-friendly. Our product is eco-friendly. We manufacture our product in Dalton, Georgia. And we service about 40 different locations all over the U.S.
Terrific. So you've been in this business in about 10 years or so?
About 10 years, yes.
Okay, terrific. And what is it that brought you this direction, and what is it that you enjoy about the synthetic lawn business?
Well, I've done just about everything except the installation because I'm too old for that. But a very good friend of mine started up One Lawn about 10 years ago. A little private concern. We were both doing things for another company, and he bought the assets of the company, and he invited me over to help him out, so I did. I enjoyed it. I was basically retired at that point anyway, so came over and got involved in the sales and marketing end of it, which is one of the things I think I'm fairly decent at. But we got involved with the company, and it was in Terra Linda, which is up by San Rafael, and the growth was small, it was short, and it took a lot of cash and things like that. But I just fell in love with it. It's a great. You're dealing with new people every single day. You have the opportunity for people to invite you into your home and help them create solutions for them. And with the last 3 or 4 years of the drought and the dryness, it's been a fantastic opportunity to help people beautify their properties without having to worry about the maintenance.
Okay, let's get to some specifics, Alex. So One Lawn, what type of products exactly do they have, and then the services they provide?
Well, One Lawn is a synthetic lawn manufacturer, and actually our name is One Lawn by X-Grass. We're owned by a company called X-Grass in Dalton, Georgia. So we manufacture multiple products, all of the different turfs and lawns, anything from football field, sports turf, to putting greens, putting anything around that, and then of course the residential lawn installation.
Okay. So now, with that description there, then I guess there are different qualities or grades or things that you might use for different applications.
Well, one of the reasons we call ourselves One Lawn is because all of our products are the same quality. The only differentiation would be the coloring.
Okay.
So the lawns can come in different, lighter, darker. All depends on the exposure you're looking at. We have a lighter product for a darker northerly exposure where it's shady all the time. So the grass would be made a little bit lighter to brighten it up and make it look better.
Okay, my question goes to homeowners. A lot of the viewers own homes. How might they weigh the pros and cons of putting synthetic grass in versus a regular lawn? How that might improve the value of a home and the long-term maintenance of that?
Okay. Well, let's start with the return on investment. Okay, so it is a costly product. It's not like putting laying sod down. It's about 3 to 4 times more than doing a sod installation. So there's your value.
Okay.
Return on investment should be anywhere between 7 and 9 years, and that falls right into our warranties, which are 10 and 20. But I think people are looking at, I think people have gotten to the point where Silicon Valley is such a busy place that they're looking to reduce their time in the yard, reduce their time doing other things like that. So it's a total time and cost saver. Let's talk the water for anything. Most people in this area have a gardener or a landscaping service, so it's a cost reduction in that point. That's why we've kind of determined it's only 7 to 9 years on return on investment.
Almost like say a solar system that's
Pretty much,
applied to a
yeah,
home.
exactly. I had just sold a home. I had a solar system installed over the last 8 years, and my operating cost was 0, which was perfect.
Right, and I assume the same is true then for synthetic lawn. Once it's installed, you really don't have any maintenance or ongoing.
The maintenance is real simple. You don't want it to get dirty, and there's a lot of things that are flying around in the air. So it's basically just as simple. You can pull out the vacuum cleaner or get a leaf blower and blow off the dust. And if you do have pets, you do need to hose those areas down on occasion to eliminate odors and make it right.
Okay, so if someone's in the mindset that they want to get synthetic grass, what kind of questions should they be asking, and how does that come about with your competitors?
Well, we do definitely have competitors in the marketplace. So the biggest difference between us and our competitors is we do not use any infill in our product. So we don't use sand and rubber on the surface.
Okay.
It's more of an estate lawn versus a residential lawn versus a sports turf.
Okay.
So the sports turfs, if you go right down here to Milpitas High School, they have a sports turf.
Yes.
Okay, and in the summer, that turf is gonna, if it's 100 degrees outside, that turf will be 125. And that's basically because of the rubber and sand in it, it enhances the heat. Our product is gonna be about 90 degrees. It's just built differently. It's manufactured differently.
Okay.
But some of the questions I would ask would be, how do you do your installations? Do you use sand and rubber? Drainage. Drainage is critical. Drainage is also one of the most important things, and we have a very unique drainage process. I brought you some brochures so you can actually see how we do those things. And, of course, cost. Cost is going to be the most relevant thing. And I'm not going to say we're the cheapest. We're not the most expensive, but our quality is very fine, and we generally get what we go after.
Well, good. Well, you talk about quality, and how might folks go about, checking on the quality of your products? Do you have a website or other places that folks might be able to do
websites.
that?
We have a One Lawn website, and which will take you right into our X-Grass website, which is our corporate, which is where we manufacture.
And does that then have information about wearability and durability of the products, and how long you might expect that? You talked about guarantee earlier or the warranty.
Okay, let me go over that very quickly. We have a 20-year no-fade color warranty, which is against the UV, and we have a 10-year material and installation warranty.
Okay.
Let me just change gears real quickly.
Oh, sure.
You had some other things, I think, on your business card. Court tile. What is that?
Well, Court Tile is part of one of our other companies that we own. It's called VersaCourt, and that is our multi-game court system. And there's a brochure there I can show you, and I'll go over that stuff with you. But it's not going to really enhance your property. It's more of a putting a play area together for you.
Oh.
Is really what it is. It's like it'd be a basketball court, could be a tennis court, paddle tennis, anything like that. And we do quite a bit of that. The thing that's nice about the VersaCourt or the Court Tile, it can be used for installing grass on concrete that creates your drainage system, and we do an awful lot of that. We do that on rooftops, like in downtown San Francisco, where they have rooftops but they don't have any yards.
Right.
So we install the grass on top, and it acts as drainage. So the Court Tile can enhance your look. It'll give you the proper ventilation and drainage, and it's a great product.
Good. We talked about the other products. How about as a company? What are the things that you see in the future? Some of the goals you might have.
Well, One Lawn is basically been exploding over the last couple of years because of the drought scenario and other things like that. But I think we do a good job of branding ourselves and marketing ourselves, and I think it's just going to continue to move forward. We have, I think, the finest designers. They go out and meet the public and go out and work with the public, and that's the big part of our business, is how we present ourselves up front. And then the back end, of course, is very important with customer service and getting things done and doing installations properly, which is also a huge part of our business. But I don't see us going backwards. I see us moving forward.
Right. And so are you really a Bay Area-based company, or what sort of area?
And have a great exhibit.
Where is that located if
There's
folks want to come
two
see it?
locations, actually. There's one at the community center and at the library. And the Arts Commission juries for both. It's very popular. There is a waiting list of about 2 years, but, come on in if you're interested and fill an
And I
application.
know you've featured some local artists, too.
Oh,
It's
yes.
really exciting.
A lot of
Well,
local art.
you talked about, you're looking at a process for putting a piece in front of, like, the police department.
Mm-hmm.
What's the process that the Arts Commission goes through in terms of selecting, pieces that might be public art? And are there opportunities for people in the public to have input into that?
Yeah, every commission meeting is open to the public.
Okay.
We encourage community participation and engagement. It's great when the community gets involved from the beginning to the end. So for the Arts Commission, once they identify an area in Milpitas that they think needs a piece of public art, we put a call out to artists. Tell us what you think you would do in this spot. We go out to that community or that neighborhood. What do you guys want? You want something that's colorful, interactive. We get ideas from the neighborhood and the community. When all that information goes out, we get some really cool feedback from artists that draw up what they would put in the parks, what they would put on the fields or in front of buildings. And then after that, we pick our favorites, or they pick their favorites. I don't have anything to do with that. They pick their favorites, and then they build 3D models. Those goes out to the community. They're looked at, they're discussed, they're voted on by the community. And then we take that information to the city council and say, hey, what do you want us to put out there? And we've made some great placements over the last couple of years.
Well, Renee, you've made this is a job, but it's more than that. It's a lifestyle for
It
you. It's a
is.
life and a
Yeah.
career, long-term
Yeah.
career. What do you find are the real rewards?
The real rewards are just seeing what I've been able to do for the community when I drive around. I see a great building. I see a 20-foot Minuteman standing out in front of our city hall. Wow, I can point out to my kids, Mommy had something to do with that. And that's really, really rewarding. And then just seeing the smiles on the faces of the people that are around town.
Nice.
It's great.
Good. So, the business union is a relatively recent development for you.
Yes, I think September 1st I started.
Great. What sort of plans or ambition do you have career-wise then? You stay here in Milpitas your entire career? Or?
Yeah, we call them lifers, right? I never close a door or a window. I love this town. I would love to stay here and see where it goes for the next, 20 years and raise my family around here and just be a part of it all. I think that would be wonderful. I'd love that.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we are lucky to have you.
Thank you.
And we'll get you back next year and
Yes.
give the folks an update on Christmas tree lighting
yes.
is coming up.
Yes.
talk about that.
We're ending our 60th anniversary year here in January, but our last big event in that calendar year is our annual tree lighting. It's our 27th year doing it. So it's Monday, December 1st at 7 p.m. It's here in the Civic Center Plaza, right in the outdoor area between City Hall, Community Center, and Senior Center. We have a great play. Charlie Brown is seeking the meaning of the holiday, so you can see him try and figure that out. And then we have a special visitor coming to help light the tree. And there'll be cultural dancing, giveaways, refreshments. It'll be an awesome time. We want everyone to come out and celebrate with us.
Terrific. Well, we hope folks will come out and
Yeah.
join that and join you and other
Yes.
folks in enjoying living here in Milpitas,
Yeah.
because we will get a lot to offer.
We do. We have a lot. We want them to play with us.
Thank you for coming,
Thank you for
visiting,
having
and
me.
sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
The following is a public service announcement test to determine if you need a fishing license and boat registration before you head out on the water. Let us begin. Are you a pelican? Does this look like your house? Is this your idea of fishing with friends? Do you use your feet as fishing hooks? Are you your own boat? Do you have webbed feet? No, I mean like a... That's the one. Do you want this in your favorite lake? Yuck, yike. No thanks, mister. Regardless how you answered, you need to be licensed and registered because it helps local conservation efforts protect the very natural resources you enjoy boating and fishing in for generations to come. Do your part at takemefishing.org.
We're the rise to every challenge type. The nothing is impossible type. The type that knows the time will come when we put type 1 behind us. We're the plan for a cure type. The improve life along the way type. The type that will stop at nothing until type 1 becomes type none.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
All of us want to make a difference. As veterans, we committed to protect our country. We served and sacrificed for the things that mattered most. Those experiences shaped our lives, even if it isn't always obvious to those around us. And now that we've served, our commitments have taken on a new meaning. We're husbands, wives, parents, friends, and neighbors, but sometimes we still feel alone. We forget that our biggest challenge can be to ask for support when we need it. The Veterans Crisis Line is here for all veterans, service members, and their loved ones. Dial 1-800-273-8255 and press 1. Chat online at veteranscrisisline.net or text 838-255. It matters.
Welcome back, everyone. Todd Flesner here with Debbie and her Giordano, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on in the real estate world here recently.
Yes, recently got some information from the National Association of Realtors. One of my colleagues had attended the national meeting and brought back some interesting stats, and I'll be happy to share that with you.
Oh, terrific.
Okay, although this is these are national numbers and local numbers do vary a little bit, but generally, 70% of those surveyed expect real estate business to increase next year. Builder confidence is up. Consumer confidence is up. Maybe you'll agree with some of these things. Mm-hmm. Pending and existing sales of homes are a little bit shorter than they were in 2013. I thought this was this is a national number. The Federal Reserve Bank estimates the national average net worth of a renter at $5,500. And the average net worth of a homeowner of $195,000. So home ownership pays off.
Certainly does.
Renters are facing higher rent prices. We've certainly seen that in the Valley here recently. First-time home buyers are beginning to shrink in terms of their numbers. 75% of the Gen Y population still believe home ownership is important. I thought that's cool. Gross domestic product will remain below 3%. Interest rates are predicted, and maybe you'll concur with this, to be about 4.5% by the end of 2015. Actually, that's a typo. It's 4.9%. Rents are rising by 3% per year. Household net worth is at an all-time high, and future population birth rates are falling. Legal immigration will create a boom, and the median price growth is at 4% annual. That's a national average. I think we're seeing a little bit higher of that, and I'll talk about the growth in the numbers after you talk about interest rates. So,
right. So yeah, some interesting things there. Yeah, and I think that we are seeing some expansion in the economy at this point in time, and that of course then spills over into real estate. And a lot of times, real estate is on the leading edge of some of those indicators of what people are experiencing in their pocketbook.
So where are we at today with interest rates?
Interest rates are still fantastic. We're in the low 4s. 4% for a 30-year fixed up to $417,000, and just slightly higher for the high balance conforming 625. You can actually get a jumbo loan today, 30-year jumbo loan, up to $2 million at 4%.
Wow, and
So-
you about need the 2 million with the way the home prices are going, but
Yeah, and so one of the
that's
things,
nice.
one of the things I am starting to see is some loosening up in the jumbo financing arena. The underwriting is still looked at real closely, but we're starting to see some expansion in jumbo programs. And so, for instance, that $2 million loan, you can get into that with as little as 20%. That had been very restricted before, been restricted up to about $1 million with 20% down. Anything over that would take 25 or 30% down. So we're starting to see some loosening.
Why is that? What caused the loosening up?
Well, I think that what investors have seen and what banks have seen is the folks who have the capacity to have that sort of loan amount, the performance of those loans in their portfolio has been very good. And so they have that history, they're tracking that, and so they're able to expand those guidelines a little bit. For instance, we now have a loan 15% down, up to $1.5 million.
Nice.
And so, that's an example of how that's starting to loosen up now.
Okay.
So that's a good sign.
That's a good sign. Anything in the horizon? Do you agree with the National Association of Realtors where the interest rates will rise a little bit more through next year?
Yeah, I think that we'll probably see a little bit of an increase here in interest rates. That wouldn't be too much of a surprise, but I think it's going to be moderate. I think our growth outlook, they talked about 3% GDP, which is moderate growth, which is going to keep maybe some moderate increase in interest rates. The Federal Reserve Board has ended what they refer to as their quantitative easing, or QE, program. And I've been watching interest rates real closely with that, and we haven't seen rates go up yet as a result. Okay. But they're also then now starting to signal that they're going to start to perhaps increase the prime rate, the short-term interest rate policy, and that may be coming up this spring.
Okay, and that should impact somewhat of the interest rates then?
It'll impact the overall interest rate environment. Again, that short-term